Agassi up to set and 5-love. This is court 18, fifth set action. American Robby Ginepri there in the sleeveless shirt from Marietta, Georgia, making his Wimbledon debut. In the first five-setter of his career against Arnaud Clement of France, who's made the round of 16 the last couple of years. Ginepri serving in the fifth set at 6-7. It is 15-love. It's been a tremendous match, back and forth. A match that began yesterday was suspended because of the slippery grass. They've resumed it. It has been feisty and close, and now to call you the rest of the way, Cliff Drysdale, Patrick McEnroe, and Brad Gilbert from center court, guys.
Chris, thank you very much. First set yesterday, as you said, to Clement. Then Ginepri comes back, wins the second. Tiebreak, third set goes to Clement. Then Ginepri today wins the tiebreak in the fourth set. And now we're at 7-6. No tiebreaks in set number 5 here. And P-Mac, you are especially interested in this because
Ginepri's one of our upcoming young players and had a great start to the year, reaching the quarterfinals at the 2 Masters Series on hard courts out in Indian Wells and in Miami. Had some great wins. Now Clement served for the match in the fourth set at 5-4, the young Frenchman. And Clement's had some good results on grass in his career. They actually moved him way up in the seedings here.
That surprised me, going from 30 to 15.
Yeah, that was a big leap for him.
Well, he came off a good tournament here, in the warm-up tournament too.
And he beat Todd Martin here last year.
I actually think they did that to justify how they moved up Tim Henman.
30
all, 2 points per match. I tell you, one of the hardest things ever to do in a slam is start the next day in the middle of the fourth set.
That's right. They started this match at 3-2 in the fourth set. It was 2-1 for Clement.
And one thing is strange, they don't start it with the first match on either. You have to follow a match, so you don't really know when to gauge going on to practice.
They've got to do that, though, to give him some time to recover. 6-0 in the second set to Agassi.
Huge point, 30 all. Out of reach, Arnaud Clement, finalist at the Australian Open a few years ago, taking out Sebastian Grosjean, his buddy, in the semi-final in a very close, tight match where he had a huge comeback. This is a game point to get even in the fifth set.
That was a great two-hander right there to open up the court, cross-court, and he snuck in with a little volley. That's the weakest part about his game right now is his serve right there. Trying to hit a little bunny kick right there on the first serve. He needs to improve the first serve to get to the next level. What do you think?
I think so. And you know, he actually has improved it already in the last 9 months, but you're right. It's
great
running pass, and Clement's out of the picture.
That was a great approach, too. He racked the forehand, came in, but unlike the Aussies who cover down the line on their passport, no covering down the line right there.
A match point for Arnaud Clement at 6-7, fifth set.
Should have been covering down the line right there. There's no way he could have hit that cross court, huh? Just missing second serve right here.
Some defensive genius there from the Frenchman.
I'll tell you what I love about Ginepri is he plays the big points without any fear at all. I saw him do this in Miami when he beat James Blake, and he beat Safin out in Palm Springs. He just loves the battle.
I'll tell you, and Clement's doing some intentionally loud grunting there.
Came up with a very tough volley there, Ginepri, off that backhand. That ball was low.
That's a good sign when you're down and all of a sudden you play more aggressive.
Deuce, second serve.
Missed it. Point for 7 all here.
Kind of shape is Ginepri in, Patrick?
Excellent shape. He's very fit. He runs well. I've never seen him get tired in a match. I mean, he works very hard on his fitness.
Meanwhile, this man Clement got to the semi-final in Halle in Germany, grass court event. Beat Ljubicic, the big serving Croatian, and Karl Kuchera.
Speaking of Lubitsch's, that was disappointing that he beat Taylor Dett yesterday. I actually, Andy and Taylor played a good match in Queens, and I was thinking that Taylor was going to have a big result here at Wimbledon, and I'm sure he was disappointed about losing that match.
Yeah, I didn't think he was 100% healthy in that one, Brad. I saw quite a bit of it, and pulled out last week with a back injury. He's been fighting that back off and on now for about 2 years.
Second serve here, big opportunity for Clement. He gets in the deep crouch on the return.
Nice aggressive play, and this is a game point to even things at 7-all in second court. Meanwhile, Delgado and Agassi, 1 to Delgado in the third set. Agassi wins the first 6-4 and easily the second without the loss of a game. So in the third set, we'll be getting back to that on center court.
Excellent approach right there, and that time he covered down the line.
Learned his lesson quickly. Oh, nicely done.
Nicely done right there.
What a point there is Ginepri using that dipper cross court to set up the backhand down the line. He rips it. Look at Clement covering this ball.
I'm telling you, he's got blinding speed. He's in the top 3 on the tour of quickness.
And then a smart play by Ginepri just at the last second coming under that ball.
So we're even. Fifth set, 7-7. Who are the other two?
The Smurf twins, Clement and Grosjean, are both lightning quick, and Leighton Hewitt. Those are the 3 quickest guys on the tour.
Where's Agassi in that list?
Not in the top 3. I said it was a top 3 list. Can't be on every list. Andre's the best mover for 33, that's for sure.
Doesn't move her for someone who hits that hard off both sides.
Well, these guys are, all 3 of those guys are counter punchers. Andre is the furthest thing from a counter puncher.
15 love.
He's an offensive puncher.
A lot of stiff jabs.
No question. Kind of what Lewis did the other night in the boxing. Klitschko looked miserable. But it's weird, he was winning on all 3 cards.
Andre Agassi on center court having very little trouble against Delgado, except in the third set. Delgado has the break and he's serving. So 2 sets to Agassi, 2 games to Delgado. He will be getting back out there. Excuse me.
That was a loose forehand right there from Robby.
Anything for tennis players to learn from the fight game, Brad?
Oh, it's the only other sport besides tennis. It's 1-on-1. 2 guys enter, 1 guy leave. Actually, for a tennis player, you can learn the most about from another sport watching boxing. There's a lot of similarities happen, except you don't get hit.
Yeah, right. Not quite as dangerous. But as far as adjusting to what your opponent's doing, figuring it out during a match.
Exactly. It's a lot of the same things happen in tennis match. He's trying to do something to you that you're trying to do to him, and you know, then the only big difference is they get coaching, which I would like to see in tennis. We just have it in Davis Cup. You get to do it.
Right.
I'm jealous of that.
The fact that you're a coach doesn't make that statement a little bit of a conflict of interest, Brad?
Well, I mean, I know it's a rule they've had forever. You know, it's kind of surprising that they have it in Davis Cup, but not in anywhere else. It's kind of unusual.
Let first serve.
But since I'm a coach now, you know, I want any more chance I can to get involved.
Did you think that when you were a player, or did you not even think about it?
No, I think that, you know, there's plenty of times sometimes that maybe if you're going south that your coach could help you out.
Scary thing is, I agree with you on that, and I also agree with you on shot spot conversation that we had earlier.
Yeah, I mean, if I could have one or two, I would take shot spot for sure, because I really feel like modern technology is needed in the game, and it can happen at 5-all in a break or something like that. You miss a call, it's not the way a match should be ended.
Game point, Clement.
Athleticism right there.
Ginepri wins the point.
Serious quickness as well. And that's the hardest shot in the game, the jumping backhand overhead.
The way he got up to that one, though, he's so quick around the court, Ginepri. He might get into your top 3 soon. Brad, that was top 5.
That was nice moving right there.
Now, interestingly, your old pupil, in addition to yours truly, think that there shouldn't be coaching, but during matches, and Agassi himself said, game point again here for Clement, that he thinks it's, you know, because it's the only sport, tennis, and I agree with him that there are no coaches, that you have to think for yourself.
No question. I mean,
it's a good, I mean, you know, either way, there are good arguments on both sides.
Clement.
He's a very traditional boy, this Davis Cup captain for the USA, and we love it.
Yeah, thanks, Cliff.
Robby Ginepri is one of that gang of young Americans. So many of them, I call him Patrick McEnroe's chickens because he's the Davis Cup captain, but he follows them. And
I don't know about that.
7-8 in the 5th. And
that's rough, Cliffy.
Now you know what I have to deal with here, Brad.
double fault as Ginepri is trying to get even here in the 5th. Meanwhile, Jamie Delgado, Great Britain, 3-1 over Agassi in the 3rd. On center court, and Zib and Henman 5-3 to Zib, down 2 sets.
That's an unbelievable shot, and that's where the quickness, it's unbelievable. Not only did he get there, he flicks it up the line.
And this is why he's so good on grass.
And
Clement, he stays so low to the ball, to the ground.
Once again, that was an unbelievable approach, but I don't know why he's not covering down the line right there. There was no way he could have gone cross-court on that shot.
Look out, Love 32 points away for the 15th seed from France.
He needs that stamped on the passport. You better be looking to guard down the line occasionally more often. Oh,
2 double faults.
3 straight match points now for Clement.
Got to make the guy work harder when, you know, to win the match here. 2 doubles.
You got to hand it also to Clement. He's a pesky quitter. He just never goes away. I mean, he just hangs on.
Well, that's his game. I mean, if you know, it's like Leighton Hewitt. I mean, that's the best part about their game is their mind and their legs. And if they don't have that, they're not going to win a lot.
Match point, Clement. Risky play, but he holds on.
He steps in there, Ginepri. If he could just tighten his game up a little bit, whenever he give those points away. And here again, taking the initiative with the forehand.
I tell you, whenever he's down, he plays more aggressively. That's what he needs to do all the time.
Well, he plays more consistently too, for some reason, when he goes for it.
This is court 18. It's one of the show courts at Wimbledon. Match point.
Second serve right here. Tight times. That's a great second serve.
And when you've hit 12 double faults in the match, you got to be thinking about that on that second serve.
I tell you, that was bigger than his first serve that he hit right there.
You know, that's what I like about this kid, Brad. He's got guts. You know, he loves the tight moments.
His first serve is going. He's definitely struggling here.
Percentage is under 50% for the match.
Second serve.
And when you play a baseline type game that he plays and you don't have a huge serve, you got to have better numbers on the serve.
Good shot there. Good approach, and then he baked him right to him with a hard low backhand. Clement just screams on his grunt. He actually, you know.
The bigger the point, the louder he screams.
It's unbelievable how loud he grunts.
Well, I'll say that's a great effort by Ginepri from the USA, one of the US's young guns, and we're going to keep you posted. But let's check in on former Australian Open finalist and Robby Ginepri from the USA, one of the new young guns from the USA. 9-8 Clement. This is Ginepri serving.
15 all in this game, and Ginepri was down love 40, triple match point in his last service game. Made a couple of great points to get out of it. Good setup there with the serve. Taking the ball early. Now, I think that Ginepri, Brad, and I'm interested to hear what you think, could really model his game, at least strategically, like Agassi. I mean, because he can hurt you off both sides. He could, if he can work on that serve, spread the court out wide, he can really, you know, take that ball early off both sides.
And I like the way he plays aggressively when he's behind a little bit. See, like that right there? I don't get it. He has a great two-handed backhand. He hits a great first two-handed backhand, and then he settles for a chip backhand approach. That's what he can learn from Andre, because in the history of the world, Andre would have never hit a chip approach there. He should have whacked his two-hander and come in.
30 all.
Loose point right there.
And a game point for Ginepri, who at Indian Wells took out Young Taek Lee, Yuri Novak, and Marat Safin before Leighton Hewitt clipped him.
And check the score out. He beat Marat Safin by.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, well, Safin was sick that day, but still Ginepri played great.
And then in Miami,
Sick or not, it was one in love.
took out Arthurs, Korecha, Blake, and Young Taek Lee again. And Carlos Moya beat in tough match, though.
That was a tremendous match. Tiebreak in the third.
Juice.
See, once again, that's a sloppy point right there.
Should he be coming in more?
Well, he should have moved up to the ball and hit a two-handed backhand right there. He waited for the ball to come to him because he's got outstanding quickness, and he hit a
lazy footwork.
Lazy footwork, and he just chipped the backhand in the middle of the net. That's two backhand chip errors.
A break, guys. He's been out there forever these last 2 days.
Well, this is at the critical point. This is not the time to be lazy. Yep, time to be lazy is maybe later on when you're kicking back.
You got a coach and a captain up here, Brad. I mean, Cliff.
Scary.
Can I tell you, if you're lazy here at a point in this match, I mean, you're out of the tournament.
Game
no
point
margin of error
Ginepri.
in an advantage set. I love watching an advantage set because every guy in the locker room is glued to the TV right now. And there's one guy really happy about this. Is Justin Gimelstob. He plays the winner of this. Unbelievable shot.
He dove too late. He dove after he hit the shot.
Brad, this may come as a surprise to you, but Tim Henman is probably going to the locker room. This is going to the good old USA, so they may not be watching this match there.
That was a Luke Jensen dive after the fact.
Patrick, where does Ginepri fit into the young guns of the USA, the Blakes and Roddicks?
He's right in there. I mean, he had that win over Blake was impressive. He made a big leap, Cliff, in those couple weeks at the Masters Series. The quarters of Indian Wells, quarters of Miami.
And then he got hurt.
Yeah, and then he hurt his wrist. He had wrist surgery. Oh, another double. He had wrist surgery just during the French Open.
So he had 3 months off after a hot start.
Yep.
So.
And he's had a couple of tough draws in the warm-up tournaments.
And he's 20 years old, so, he's younger than a few of the young guys. He's the same age as Andy. He was Andy's junior rival.
They played the Junior U.S. Open final against each other.
Match point.
That's a horrible way to lose it.
So Ginepri of the USA 10-8 in the fifth, going down to the number 15 seed, Arnaud Clement.
So Justin Gimelstob will get a shot at Clement in the next round. A pretty open section here. Jonas Bjorkman has got a nice looking draw there against Meltzer, who took out Fernando Gonzalez.
You got to like Bjorkman or Clement in that section. That's a really weak section.
We're going to take a break now from our live coverage of the Great Wimbledon Championships with Robby Ginepri going down to the